All right, so we're wanting to, yeah, so whenever the indicator goes to 0, we just want to block the output from the solvers. So let's get this up again here. All right. So essentially, you have several threshold solvers daisy chained together with an OR node. Connected together in a series there with an OR node. And so you're wanting to block the output of that OR node when your indicator's at 0. So we've got a test solver here. And so the way the solver is being used, you're trying to identify when the indicator outputs like a value of 1, but not when the indicator is outputting a value of 0 here. So instead of setting E to 0, we're going to go about this a different way. And so what we want to block would be the output when our indicator, so in this I'm kind of simplifying things, so when the MACD kind of goes below 0, we want to block that output there. So I'm going to do this, I'm going to grab another threshold solver and all right, so let me put the MACD in again. All right, got the MACD selected again. And so when the indicator is 0, so what we would use is the outputs at 0, like this. There we go. So then just running a little slow again for some reason, so I'm just have to be patient with it. Yeah, so this would be the proper way, is set the outputs for at B, C, and D, right? Basically when your indicator is outputting 0, like that. But in order to make, yeah, because my test example here is not, it's not exactly the way you've got it, I'm going to have to modify the outputs. I'm going to have to use the less than E here just to kind of illustrate my point. So right, so we can see, right, basically I've designed a threshold solver that's going to output a long and a short when your indicator is outputting the value that you want to block, right? Let's see. Let me give this a name here. Let's rename this one. This is actually kind of a bad name here. There we go. All right, so I got one threshold solver here, and you can put in the value that you want to block, in either B, C, or D. Actually, it would be better if you would put it in B. There, the way that the threshold solver works behind the scenes, and if you ever watch the video specific to the threshold solver, I mentioned how it works in the background behind the scenes, and what it does is it evaluates A, B, C, and D. It evaluates things down the line like this, and when it gets to, it'll stop evaluating depending on the outputs here. So just a little technical background on the threshold solver. So really I don't need to put an output for C and D. I could just use B alone. right? Actually, that would be the way to set the threshold solver up properly. Is, B is going to be my 0 value that I'm wanting to, that I want to identify from the indicator. So all I need is just to have at B, have a value at B. But in my, because I don't have a very complete test example here, I'm going to have to use the less than E to get this to work here so we can visually see it. So I'm going to turn this on here. And so what you do is you take this and we're going to invert. One of the times we can use this invert property here. Invert that. And now we can see, right, when there's no value, right? When there's no value, right, this is the area that you want to block. You want to block the solvers here, or you want to block, the output coming from your chain of threshold solvers. That's what you want to block. So we'll just grab an AND node, like so. And connect that in. And there we go. So let's kind of scroll back here. And yeah, so here's a couple more spots. There we go. Where when that MACD goes below 0, we're blocking. We're blocking the output, from your group of threshold solvers. There you go. A few more.
That's much easier.
So, yes, yeah. I'd say this did turn out to be a pretty easy solution there. Yeah. So yeah, let me just put this up again. So remember, the only output you're concerned with is just B. So just set your threshold B to whatever value you want to block. So if it's 0, leave it at 0. If you want to block maybe value 4, right? Of course, you could just set that at 4. Actually, what I would do is, if, say for example, you want to block 4, just set all your thresholds to 4. That way, you're getting the solver to work in a digital type of mode instead of the fuzzy logic mode. Yeah, set it all to 4 there. And then just set your long and short output for B, set those to 1, and you're good. That'll do it. And so the key, again, kind of the key is turning the invert on. So yeah, in this case, we want to turn that invert on there. So, yep.